Welcome everyone, Wednesday, June 11, and it's 11th day of 30 days self-leadership journey. I do hope that you are doing well and the week treats you also very well and with peace. That's, I think, the most important. And today is also a special day because today we are celebrating Making Day Beautiful. And despite the subject of my talk to you might not be exactly mirroring that, but as a part of the long-term process, it's a good step into it. Are you ready? Let's dive in then. Today we will be talking about emotional maturity and boundaries. And let me tell you, you are allowed to disappoint others, to serve yourself with your inner peace. Sound is not really comfortable, huh? Yes, it is, unfortunately, because as we are going through all episodes, we are recognizing in us the behaviors that quite often put us in the position that we are acting to please others, to not disappoint. Some people will do jokes about us. Some people will do teasing. Some people will offend us. And just because of we are driven with some kind of hunger inside, we will be accepting those elements, those behaviors, those acts. We will be justifying them as it was just a bad day, or is tired, in pain, or sick. Because they are elders, they can say that. They can interfere in that. They can diminish us. Because the list of justifications can be quite long. The moment when we try to justify other person the way they treat us, it's kind of signal of disrespecting our space, disrespecting who we are. How often we do have this kind of situation in the conversation. We are sharing our opinion and someone is attacking us in response. Since we are talking about emotional maturity, I would rather say that's not a mature conversation. Because conversation is when indeed we are exchanging the opinions, but we are not judging, we are not criticizing someone. In Poland we are having saying, maybe in other countries is same, then share in the comments, about the politics and religion we don't speak at the table. Because they are very controversial subjects. But why? Why we cannot have polite, constructive, sometimes with the heat, but still in a mutual respect, conversation about uncomfortable subjects. You remember when I was talking about literacy of expression? Communication is the foundation of most of aspects in our life. When we are triggered, or when we are in the situation where someone is attacking, usually we will go for angry. Anger will lead us to the response. It means we are attacked. We are not emotionally mature. And even if we are responding with anger, what kind of quality of the words we do have? What kind of quality of communication we are representing? If that's the negative or low quality, then actually we are adding the power to other side, because this kind of reaction is weakening us, belittling our position. So usually no one will listen with respect, unfortunately. Setting boundaries requires better communication. I say diplomacy. We don't need to agree with someone. We don't need to fight back. But it's enough to say, hold on, can you park here? I think you are stepping over my boundaries, stepping over the boundaries of respect to me as another human being, as another adult. I understand you might have different opinion. I understand I mistaken what you have told me, your instruction, and I delivered that work with the false. But it doesn't mean you shall talk to me that way. I am an adult and I expect respect. It's still very difficult if we are considering some authority. But then the question is, who is that authority and why? We are also creating, because of the vertical process of thinking, the social norms, we will create this kind of standards you must respect. How often I hear from the workplace, the elder employee, sometimes a leader, will disrespect another employee, regardless the gender, the way it's dressing up, or maybe a little bit out of shape. But these are also the reason why sometimes people are breaking the boundaries and disrespecting in a very awful manner. The reaction can be, we will go to the toilet and we will cry. We will go in the evening, drink few beers to forget. But it does not solve the issue. And issue turning into opportunity, your growth. How can I set up the boundaries? It's your communication. This is where the power is falling into. How? You can train yourself how you want to say this kind of message. Write it down. Write it down first, as the emotions are your key driver. And then scan it, filter it, and delete every emotional word. Extract this, and you will have completely different message. More emotionally mature message. We expect others to respect our boundaries, but the way how we are doing it sometimes is not building this force. Oh, I need to look at that person in a different way. This is in another adult. If we are growing up within that pattern, we allow people to disrespect. We allow our mothers to interfere how we do the chicken soup, how we do clean up in the house, how we shall earn the money, fathers, how we should repair the car, or whatever you can list. Your boss, we are talking about bullying and mobbing, and you need to report that to your human resources. But it's not an easy thing, and we know how usually it ends up, not with the benefit for us. What can I do then? Learn how diplomatically to speak to other person. Diplomacy is also giving naturally the respect to other person. And it doesn't mean that this person will immediately understand. We need to keep growing and keep going. And this is all about building kind of sustainability in our own inner system. When we are also accepting this kind of behaviors towards us, it's another position where we are performing the people pleaser, and again is bringing us back to the hunger we are driven by. So we are circling again and again and again. We are afraid to disappoint other people if we push back. But you don't need to push that back with the anger. You can still be polite in saying that if someone does not understand and make you are saying nonsense, then it's actually confirmation for you. You need to set up that boundary. If you would try to make similar joke to that person, you would hear rough response back. It's difficult to open eyes. It's difficult to get into the action because we are still afraid of losing, disappointing, that we will generate by our act a negative emotion, a negative experience in other person. But why? They should feel shame that they do something wrong. But as long as we do not address it in the right way, it will be continued. Exercise for today. Write down in your notebook what kind of boundaries you are avoiding to set up and why. As a bonus, you may also write down next to it a person who is triggering in you that feeling you wish to have that boundary around. And another part, what emotional need, like to be liked, avoiding conflict, is driving that avoidance. Don't set limits in the response. Just be honest to your thoughts and write it down the way how you feel it. Have a wonderful rest of the day and see you tomorrow.